People. Okay, I think people really need to hear what I have to say. I don't know if anyone's going to show up, but I'm just going to rattle off what's going on. Okay, we are at war, and a lot of people don't recognize that we're at war. It's a trick that the enemy has pulled upon the people of the United States and the world. This is a communist takeover. If you do not know what that is, you need to just Google communist takeover, communist revolution, especially like the revolution of Russia, and see exactly what that is. It is a horrendous power grab by people who want to steal the wealth of other people and their power, and specifically the wealth and power of Christians, by the people who hate Jesus Christ. Everything else is a diversion. Anytime they start a race war, they do the shootings, they want to get gun control going, they want to do whatever. It's all about Jesus Christ and getting rid of Christians, okay? This is how they're doing their war against us, sideways. They're not coming straight at you, but they did a little bit with the LGBT and the gender agendas. Now, those agendas, everybody should be fighting against those where they are at. They are fake. This is fake science. This is fake, worse than fake news. It's fake education that's being given to your children. The communists have remote mind control technology, and it's actually mind and body control technology. They can control your mind and your body. They can program your brain while you sleep at night and change who you are. They can make you gay, they can make you straight, they can make you pedophile, they can do all these things, okay? Which means they could also fix those problems too, but they choose not to because they want chaos and disorder in our societies. So they've been creating a lot of these disorders, this reprobate behaviors, as an attack against our societies. And it's not just Christians. I mean, if you notice, they're attacking everybody. COVID is for everybody. They've attacked all of us. So it's not just Christians, it's not just Muslims, it's everyone. With that said, people do need to start, we needed to start earlier than this organizing, but of course, most people don't believe it's happening and are not able to wrap their mind around the fact that a war. This is a war. Like the Syrian war, this is a war. The mafia is starting fires. They are controlling the weather. They are killing people with remote weapons and calling it COVID. It's not true. They got mind control and body control. Look up James Lico simulated drowning video on YouTube, and you will see how they are doing this. They are actually killing people with remote mind control weapons and using the virus as a cover story. People need to organize. You need to get back to church. You need to try to tell everybody that you know this information that I'm giving you. You know, share this video if you need to. I know I look kind of a mess and everything, but I mean, I'm dealing with an attempted murder from the other day. So I'm just like, I am kind of a mess. I'm like in shock almost. So, but please share this information with everybody and get ready. You need to be prepared. Can you grow food? Can you raise food? What kind of food can you raise? If you've got chickens, I think you need roosters in order to have eggs. Does your city allow roosters? It ain't going to matter when the war really gets going if they allow it, because you're going to have to do it anyways. But these are things that you need to think about. There's going to be certain ways that people are going to be able to survive, but it's not going to be easy. They're not going to make it easy on you. We're going to have to resist this in the best way possible, which I think is going to be through Jesus Christ, of course. And all Christians, I don't care what denomination you are, all Christians need to unite. I also believe we unite with Muslims and all good people who believe in freedom and believe in the way we have it, where you're free to worship God, etc., and we're not communist, okay? So anyone who's not a communist should be on one side. Everyone who is a communist should be on the other side. And absolutely do not trust any communist, not one, ever. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think The war is, I mean, it's live and active right now. It's just called, it's irregular warfare. Just because they don't have a gun to your head right now does not mean you're not at war. We are in an active war zone right now. It's happening now. And they are killing people in the hospitals, and they are killing a lot of people. I mean, I know people that have been killed in Mexico with COVID. Okay. Like people that my fiance knew have died from it. They were murdered. I'm positive they were murdered. I've had people murdered in my family other ways, and in my circles other ways in the past. So this is what the mafia does. Unfortunately, people take too long to wake up and called conspiracy theorists and all this stuff. You've got to get through the people's head that is a trick. Especially right now, the people that are involved in the war on the wrong side are trying to pretend it's not happening. Still they're trying to pretend it's not happening, even though they just shut down the whole planet with COVID. Okay. They're trying to kill all our small businesses because they own the big businesses. They control the big businesses. All they got to do is kill the small businesses in order to make us not be able to, support ourselves without them. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I saw a rumor by somebody who posted on Facebook that they are looking forward to the next exile. Okay, so the people of Israel want all the people of Israel to get kicked out of all the countries and be forced to go to Israel. This is how crazy these people are. Like, maybe those people don't really want that plan, but no, the rulers did not care. They did not care whether they wanted that plan. That was their plan, and that's what they're going forward with. But I would not trust any of them anyways, whether they act friendly or they act like an enemy. I do not trust them at all, because there's been past wars and people have trusted them and they have lost. And that is why, because you cannot trust one of them. They are backstabbers. They're poisoners. They will poison your food. Do not trust anybody where you go anywhere too, because they have a lot of money and they can pay off people. And there are people who are technically not communists, but need money, or they're just angry at America. They will do these things, especially if the mafia tells them like you're a pedophile, or tells them like these horrible stories, you're a terrorist, whatever they make up. There are people who will attack you for them because they're stupid. They don't understand that we're at a war. They're just thinking, what, this person's bad. Okay, I'll do that. Just idiots. So anyways, you got to be really careful. And my suggestion for everybody, I've been telling people for months, is to get back to church. Okay. That's really difficult in person, and people need to talk. We have to fight together. We will not survive individually. You are not going to survive this individually. Believe me, the other night, someone came over and tried to kill my fiance. Okay. This is not a game at all. And if you are trying to fight this by yourself and you have no backup and you have no people that you can turn to, and they have to turn to you and you have to turn to them, you're going to lose. You cannot fight an entire war as a single person. Believe me, you have to start uniting and organizing and getting a plan together on how you're going to survive. You have supplies. Do you have food? Can you grow food? What kind of food can you grow? Where can you grow it? Like here, I know we have huge houses across the street with big old yards. I've been thinking I need to go over there and tell them, you need to start raising something, and you need to do it quick, because we're running out of time. Plus they have control of the weather. So, that's going to be a whole other issue about, and we have to get around all of it. I mean, that's the only way we're going to survive, is if we try to get around all of this. So, but working together, you're going to have a much better chance. And so I'm trying to tell everybody to get back to church. Plus, you need the foundation in order to rebuild civilization. I do not know how many people these people are going to kill, but there have been rumors that it's going to be like reducing the planet like by 6 billion people or something crazy like that. So you need to keep this in mind. You may not survive. You may not, but you might as well try. And you might as well fight anyways, because there's people that might survive that might overthrow these people. Okay. So even if we die trying, we might cause the future to win, which I'm sure we will, because I think we will be free again. It's impossible for these people to like hold tyranny over an entire planet for like eternity. The people are not going to go for that. They're going to get sick of it. So eventually going to overthrow them. But right now we have to just deal with what we have, what we have to deal with. And yeah, so I've been also thinking there was a Polish priest in Poland who once had to fight the communists there himself. They killed him. Okay. In the end, they did get him, but he organized a whole movement of people that rose up against the communists, and the communists eventually lost there. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. You may not survive, but the people after you may. And we have to think like this. It is the saddest thing, I know, but I've thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting older. I might as well be one of them that goes out first, you know, and does the rosary in the street and takes a chance on BLM killing me, or, you know, whoever is killing me, because I'm older anyways. I can't have children. I cannot add to the planet. You know what I mean? But the younger ones, they can. So we need to get out there. We need to go first and see what we can accomplish and see what we can get done. And not the young ladies. The young ladies definitely need to stay. They need to stay behind, and you know, they can do little things, but they should really protect their lives, because that's how you survive as generationally. So anyways, that's all I have to say. It is so serious. I can't even, I'm in shock, like from what happened the other night and what's happening now. But other than that, I mean, I'm just surviving, you know, just like everybody else, and waiting. I've been waiting for so long for enough people to wake up to like actually go do something. Like I could go pray the rosary in the street myself, you know, I've gone to Hollywood and prayed the rosary by myself or with my partner, but it doesn't, you know, it becomes only a spiritual exercise. So it matters in heaven, but it's not making a big difference here on earth because I'm the only person, you know. We need to organize and do these things together. We need to go pray the rosaries in the streets. Doesn't matter if you're Catholic. The rosary is just a recitation of Jesus' life. Like the stories of his life are in the rosary. And when you pray it, you go, each decade is for each story. And there's all these different stories of Jesus' life. And so there's mystical power that is attributed to it. Also, you can just look that up on Google, you know, what the promises are of the rosary and everything. But also it has a psychological effect against devils, which do exist. Your secular world has tried to convince you that the devil doesn't exist, Satan doesn't exist, God doesn't exist. They're trying to convince you of all this. Total lie. Total lie. I caught devils on a photograph, okay? They exist. And when you go out and you make spiritual active warfare against them, they leave. You'd be amazed how I've seen people, just me being strong, like wearing my rosary or just like being out. I've seen the devils inside of people like shrivel and like go away. You know, they are not as strong as you think they are. The people maybe, you know, some of these really bad, monstrous communists are really bad. But we can get very far with the other ones with the spiritual warfare. I mean, you're not going to really change the devil incarnate, you know, but the little ones, you are going to affect those people and they may come out of it and they may come out of your side. So we have to be doing spiritual warfare. And that's one of the things that you can do, is pray the rosary in the streets or do processions. I know the Catholic Church can do processions with the Eucharist. If you're Catholic or you want to go to a Catholic church and talk to people, they can do a procession with the Eucharist through the streets. They can organize that because the priest has that ability to do that. But without the power of the people backing him, it's hard. You know, some priests are going to be reluctant to go out. A lot of them still don't realize the war's going on. So that's where we're at. I don't want to go on too long because I want to keep this one up. So anyways, tell everybody that you know that it's go time. It's been go time for a long, long time. But I mean, it's about time. Like, you can't ignore it anymore. You can't ignore it. It's here. It's here. So we got to do something. Anyway, we got our tiny little supply of food here. And it's not very much, but something, you know. And that's it. I mean, we just got to try to survive and do the best we can and tell everyone you know, because the more people that prepare, the more people will be able to help each other too. If everyone goes to the store and has a 6-month supply of food and supplies, when it really gets bad, there's going to be more supplies and community that can be shared and more people can survive, because that's what we have to try to do, is survive. The Christians and the good people have to try to survive. At this point, if someone is not on the good side, I would highly recommend not letting them near your compound. Yeah, I'm not into saving devils. So if they are not repentant, I'm just going to be like, yeah, you can go. I'm not going to help you. So there's a lot of people I know that are around here that are like that. They participated in gang stalking. They participated in harming our own citizens. If they come to me for food, I'm just going to be like, no. And if you touch it, I'll kill you. So that's the way it is. You chose your path. You know, sometimes they made their bed, they have to lay in it. If you chose that path and you hurt those people and you help the wrong war effort against us, I'm not going to help you. And in fact, if you touch me or you touch my food, I'm going to shoot you. So that's what we have to be. Everyone needs to toughen up. It's a real war. And, I watch a lot of the wars transpire in the Middle East. I mean, I remember seeing the revolution Facebook pages pop up and all looking identical, because the same people were making those revolutions, same people behind our problems. And the Syrian one was really interesting, because they had trouble getting the Syrians out, and the Syrian government and their army really strong. I know, I think they're still trying to get them out at this point. I think they still are. I even saw a news thing come out, I think last night, about some refinery or something. I can't remember, getting bombed. And it was really important because it took the power out, took tons of power out. So, and that's probably coming for us too. Eventually, we're probably going to have our power knocked out. We're probably going to have everything knocked out. It's just going to be chaos. So anyways, I hope everyone gets prepared and tells everybody else to get prepared. That is the most important thing. Everybody go out on your social medias and tell people, get prepared, have 6 months supplies, get to know your neighbors, who is good, who is not good. You need to know these things. You need to know this. And I'm at a disadvantage. I'm in a city that speaks mostly Spanish. I don't know. I don't even know how to tell who's going to be a good guy, other than if I see him wearing a rosary, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be really difficult, but at least they know how to grow food. They know how to grow food, and they have tons of food growing in their, gardens already. So they'll have a little bit less hard of a time than a city slicker with no skills at growing anything or hunting anything. So anyways, I can't see who's there. I see there's 4 people. Who's here? Can you say hi? I see Kick Bleep is here. Let me see. I don't know if anyone else is going to show up. So I don't want to make this too long, because I can just put it up as a video after this as a warning. Get out warning everyone that you can, because that's the most important thing right now. The more people that know the truth, the more people can fight back. Or else we're going to end up fighting the people that don't know what's going on. And that's what they're counting on. They're counting on a bunch of people being really stupid and causing a lot of chaos. So we have to, everyone's been trying to wake up people for years, but now it's super go time. Tell everybody. And if they think you're crazy, well, tell them to look at COVID. What happened with COVID, guys? Overnight, they shut down the whole entire planet, basically. This is not good. Oh, I can see. Just a TI from across the pond. Oh, another Target. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, it's hard. It's been, I've been seeing a lot of reports of Targets getting hit harder recently too. And I did a while ago. I was burning up at night. Every single night when I lay down to go to sleep, it was they were totally turning it up, the vibration, the heat, everything. So yeah, I know. And I got a threat the other day from somebody saying that everyone who's not AJ, WS, everyone who's not one of those with the last letter starts with A, was going to be hit with a weapon next year that melts you into your shoes. That was the threat. So that's something really lovely to try to look forward to. So I'm thinking maybe I need to change my last name. So I'm not in that. They tried running me over one time. Oh yeah, yeah. They've had people run in front of my car. They've tried getting us in car accidents. They have hit our car while we're driving and broken it down. Like I heard it go bzzz, and then all of a sudden it was something in the engine was malfunctioning. Okay. Hi, fellow targeted RNDM browser. So yeah, I mean, they've hit our cars. That's the thing. You can't rely on anything. It's kind of like you have to go back to basics, because if you have a car, they're going to slow you down because they're going to make it mechanically fail. If you have a house, they're going to break into your house and steal your stuff. If you're a person that they want to kill, they're going to try to kill you. And yeah, so you have to be ready for all these things. And you do have a guardian angel. Absolutely. These things exist. The secular world is trying to remove God because they're taken over by communists, and communists want to remove God because they hate Jesus Christ. See, if it was their God, they wouldn't care, but it's Jesus Christ they're trying to remove, and Islam too, but they're trying to do that. So what they do is they try to tell us everything, like, the opposite. Like they're trying to convince you that angels and demons don't exist. They make it a joke. They make a movie or they make a show, Lucifer. I haven't watched TV in probably years because I don't like those people that make all that stuff. But they try to make it look like that stuff doesn't exist. But I guarantee you have a guardian angel. I have a picture, a photo. I mean, not a picture photo, but a video. I was shooting a video of my cat. And here's one thing you can do. If you have a little faith, but you want your faith bigger, ask God for specific things and he will answer you. Like I asked to see my angel and I got a picture of my angel. Interesting, right? And you don't even realize it. Like you get the picture and then you look back and you're like, I know what that is. That's the answer to my prayer. There it is. And then the other day I was taking a video of my cat and I thought I couldn't figure out what it was. Like a white thing, flew by. It wasn't like an orb. It had literal wings like this. And I saw it when I was making the video. And when you watch it back, sure enough, it's like, and at first I got scared. First I thought it was something bad, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, actually that fits the description of an angel, things with wings and stuff. So I do have that video up. That's a while back, of just filming my cat and this thing flies by. But anyway, so you have an angel that can help you. You need to listen to what you call your intuition, because they will nudge you. Like if you're in your house and you lost something, they will nudge you. If you just stay calm, they will nudge you to find it. You will find your lost things. Cat's waking up. You can find your lost things that way too, because they know where it's at. Your angel knows where everything is that you own. It's amazing. I mean, I have lost so many things and it always knows. It always knows where it is. And I used to go to the library a lot when I was homeless. I used to go to the library a lot, and anything I wanted to look up in the library, my angel knew where it was. That's how smart they are. So you want to listen. You want to pay attention to what they're trying to communicate, because they're way smarter than us, I think. My kitten's waking up. You want to say hi? You want to come out and say hi? Come here, Michael. Let me see if I can get him. He's been sleeping under the computer, in the computer desk. He loves my rosary. Oh no, don't chew that. No, I want you to say hi. You guys say hi, everybody. Say hi, everybody. We're fighting the war over here. Say hi, Michael. Look at you. He's getting so big and fat. You're so big and fat now. He was so skinny when I found him. He's getting bigger. Yeah, you're getting to be a big beauty. Big beauty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. He was one of the cats we found in the parking lot. And I got this one, and I have a gray and white one, but she's really hard to handle. She's kind of half feral, so you take her out and she gets all skittish, so I don't want to take her out. But show me your cute little paws. See, look at my paws. They're half white and half stripy. So he's our little feral cat. I'm trying to save them because they were over here. This building was empty for a long time, and I'm trying to save them because they were out there homeless. He was covered in car soot, like he was living in the cars. So I took him in, got him to the vet, and fed him a lot of food over a couple months. And now he's big and fat and friendly. He's so friendly. He's just the really nice one. He's really friendly, but he likes to eat my rotary. No, don't do that. So, anyways, and then the other one's really pretty too, but she's skittish, so we can't take her out very easily. She's here, but anyway, so I'm kind of trying to do the no cat left behind thing because we're in a war, and I don't want to let them alone, you know. And I don't want to. I kind of don't want to. What's it called? Give them out or let someone adopt them, because I'm afraid people are gonna freak out when the war really hits. And I know that I can handle, like, okay, I'm gonna handle it okay. I can still take care of the cats okay. I'm afraid when the war really hits that people are just gonna be like throwing their animals outside because they can't handle it. So I'm trying to keep a hold on these guys and take care of them. Let me see. And our DM browser says, how are you doing health-wise? Do they target your heart and brain? Yes, actually they have in the past. Like I've had fake heart attacks, or real. I don't really know. Maybe it was real, but I've had that where like having a heart attack. They stopped my heart one time completely. But like I said, you have angels. I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt my heart was stopped. And I was like, boom, and my partner pounded my back. So I woke up my partner and he's pounding on my back, you know, and I'm like coughing, making it go, because what they do is they stop the electrical pulse, and it gives you chest pain, of course, because your heart's not pumping for, you know, whatever. And, but you can it's kind of like doing your own CPR, except for you're just restarting the rhythm, I guess. I'm not a physician, so I'm not sure exactly why it works, but I know it works. And so I do that when they do that. I had to learn how to do that because they kept giving me chest pains. I've been to the doctor for the cat doesn't want to be alone. I've been to the doctor for all those tests and everything they do for people having heart problems, you know, because I was, you know, thinking like, well, I can't take a chance. I gotta, you know, I'm not sure if it's them, so I'd better make sure, you know, what I was sure, but you know what I mean? You always want to just rule out everything else. So I've been through all that, and I was all healthy. And then I figure, oh yeah, well, it's just them, you know, trying to give me a heart attack. Yeah, but your body will wake up. Don't just do nothing, like cough really hard or pound on your chest. If you have a partner, have them go boom, 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 boom on your back, like really hard. Like try to get to the heart to get it to start, you know, to the electrical pulse to start again, I guess. Let's see. Generation says, I had a simulated heart attack and a brain stroke. And implanted with active clinicals, medical and government implant devices. That's not good. I don't know if I am implanted at all. I tried to, when I first found out I was being targeted, I tried to go with one of those groups that checks for implants, but the mafia blocked me. And so I don't know if it's because I am implanted and they didn't want me to find out, or I wasn't and they didn't want me not, you know, to find out that I wasn't, and the mind control works anyways. So I think they're hiding the way they do it kind of with me. I don't know if I'm implanted or not, but, and I've felt things like strokes. I always keep aspirin, or I try to always keep aspirin around, because I felt things like that, like where you feel like something's not right, you know, something's not going right, and you feel weird in the head, and I'll take aspirin and it'll help. So aspirins are good for the heart attack and stroke. And also if you get COVID symptoms, you got to take aspirin if it's not against, you know, and if you don't have any reason not to, because it causes blood clots, tiny blood clots that form in your lungs and wherever else. And it's one of the really bad, it's not even like, I don't want to call it a symptom. It's a syndrome almost. It's like causing blood clotting, which is hurting your organs. So you really want to keep your blood, you know, as flowing as you can. If you can't get to the doctor, you don't trust a doctor, take one whole orange sliced with a lemon sliced and boil the whole thing, the peel and all. Probably like 20 minutes, I think. You can do it longer. Like some people do really long, but I just do it like 20 minutes or till it's really soft and gushy. And then I squeeze out all the pulp and I throw away the rinds, and then put like 5, 6, 7 baby aspirin. You can do whatever you want. It's not, baby aspirin is so low dose. I mean, you can actually probably do more than that, but I usually do, I think 5 or 7 or something like that. and then put honey. And it tastes so good. It's such a good drink. It's really like a good one for wintertime. It's hot and citrus. Oh, it's so yummy. And what it does, you got to be sitting down because it actually affects you. Like I got lightheaded. It's like kind of opening your circulation or something. Like it's making your blood so it doesn't clot, but it's also like I think making it thinner or something. I'm not sure, but that was a recipe that we got from someone who got it from a doctor in Mexico. A doctor in Mexico told somebody to do this for COVID. So they know something. And then I was also reading an article one time, the same thing. A Mexican family had cured his whole family by doing this. And while I was reading the article, the mafia deleted it. Literally, it was on my computer and they deleted it. I did screenshots because I still had it on my page. So there's something with that. So I would definitely keep some oranges and lemons in your house and some aspirins and honey because it's definitely something that is helping people. Let me see. Shielding and earth grounding is the best measure. I don't even know. Browser, how do you shield? Because that has been a big question of mine. And I think they mind controlled me to not be able to shield. Like I've never gotten to the point where I've gone out and bought something to shield. After all this time and after all this pain, I've been in so much pain and I've just never gotten to the point where I actually bought any shielding. It's crazy. It has to be mind control they're using on me. I don't even know what kind of shielding to use. And grounding, I think, is just when you go outside and put your feet on the ground or something. But lead paint. Yeah, it could be why maybe they took the lead paint out of our house. I'm sure they were not trying to help our children when they took the lead paint out. I'm pretty sure they're not trying to help us. So let me see. They probably wanted to see through our walls or something. Oh, this person has migraines. Yeah, the migraines are horrendous. That's the worst pain ever. I've had them trigger me when I was in front of a doctor. Something was making a migraine. My brain was so swollen. Yes. And what I take for those is Advil gel caps. Other Advils, nothing. I mean, I didn't get any relief from any migraine medicine at all or anything over the counter until I tried Advil liquid gels, not gel caps, liquid gels, because I think they help the swelling. And yes, I've had them hit me. I got hit so hard with a migraine that I thought I was going to die. I was in the emergency urgent care place. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs about who was killing us and who's going to kill us and that they were attacking me with these remote weapons. The cops showed up. And I told the cops what was going on too. And, you know, I can tell like on people's faces, like some of them know I'm telling the truth. And some of them are like, you know, bewildered, like what's going on? This girl's crazy. You know, the cat's trying to get my back. Hey, he's still trying to get my rosary. What are you doing? You putting on a show? Are you putting on a show for the internet? You're famous now, Michael. He's named Michael after the archangel. Good boy, huh? So, but he's the best cat I ever had. He's so friendly. I had a good cat named Scratch a long time ago though. And she was nice too. She was friendly like him, and she ended up having just 3 legs later because she got cancer. But you are one of the best kitties ever. So, yeah. So the cops showed up and everything, like. And then the urgent care was like kind of not wanting to treat me. All I wanted was this stupid shot. Like they give you a shot that makes the nausea go away, you know? And then they get to the point where they don't even want to give it to you anymore because they don't want you to go to the urgent care. You get this? Like you're a chronic migraine sufferer. You have health insurance. And now your urgent care wants to prevent you from getting help. So they don't want to give you the shot when you're there. They'd rather call the police than treat you. It was horrible. And I put a big complaint in on that. I was like, what's the point? If someone's in so much pain to go to urgent care, just give them the shot. It's easier. Give them the shot, they leave. But no, they wanted me to stay there screaming for hours, you know, however long it was. And then my doctor, of course, I think my doctor thought I was crazy and pissed. And whenever you have like any mental health diagnosis, they always try to blame it on that. It's like, oh, you have cancer? Oh, that's just your schizophrenia. That's just your, you know, bipolar. You know, like I'm being outrageous by saying that, but you know what I mean? It's like anything that you have going wrong. Oh, your foot hurts. Oh, it's just because you're crazy. It's like, no, people who have mental problems can also have body problems. People. Oh, yeah. And the medical field's all part of the mafia too. They're trained this much when you can actually know like this much about how to help people, like check people's food, see what they're eating, what do they do? Are they exercising? There's so many things they can do, but they don't. They're just trained to do this much and pass pills to you. Let me see. Yeah, I know. I've been through the crying migraines. It's awful. Absolutely awful. It gives me asthma too. The technology can give me asthma when like pretty bad. Oh, Melinda Kidder Investigations. I don't know what that is about. Generation. What is that? Melinda Kidder. She was one of them. Yeah, I've been mind controlled, I think, kind of not to get involved too much with these groups because every time I try to, I get paranoid. And I just end up protecting myself. And, it doesn't matter. The groups never get anywhere. I mean, over the years, I figured out you never get anywhere. You just end up like working with this group and end up being targeted by some of the members. So I didn't miss out on much. Let me see. Oh, implant removals. Let me see. Is the best protection. Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that. I use cocodamol and paracetamol. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Oops. I have this strange computer. We got a really, really cheap new laptop just to get the cheapest thing possible, and it's like hard to manage it. But let me see. And we have the Guardian. Cyber torture to bypass physical ban. The United Nations has started investigation into crimes. Yeah, I wish, but I never believe this stuff. They never get anywhere because as soon as they start getting somewhere, you guys, the mafia contacts them and like threatens them or tells them not to get involved. I think that's what happens when we call the FBI. Like the FBI takes you serious, takes a report. And then right after you get done with the FBI, someone goes and calls them afterwards and like says, yeah, we got her under investigation. She's paranoid schizophrenic. She's a drug addict. She's this, and I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, guys. But they'll say things like that so that the person who took the intake will go, oh, I don't have to investigate this. And then they just drop the case. And meanwhile, we're trying to save a whole entire country from being demolished by communists. But hey, they know better. So anyways, Manila Eyes, hi. So, and anyone new in here, I'm sorry that I look so terrible, but I've been going through the legal parts of getting attacked last night and having a murder attempt on my partner. So I'm really kind of stressed out. I almost went into shock earlier. I think it was, it's really hot here. It's like 80s, 90s degrees. And we have the AC on, but I turned it off. And then I was laying down and I started feeling myself like get colder. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm going into shock. So I got up and ate some soup. Let me see. Yeah. And right now I'm like past investigating because I got to like the kernel of the reason this is happening. It's a war of communism against the whole world. They are trying to take over the whole planet for their little new world order or whatever you want to call it. And so once I got to the kernel of it, I was like, I'm just going to work on telling people what's going on. And sometimes, if I have time to relax or something, I'll watch new videos and try to learn something new. But most of the time, I'm just trying to tell people. I look on the internet and I look for good opportunities to tell people what's happening. That's basically what I do. I'm like, oh, this person's wondering why this is happening. Okay, let me tell them. This is a war. So that's what I usually do. Let's see. If you're experiencing foot stalkers, document, record the event. I recommend Spy Camera glasses from eBay. Yeah, I kind of stopped even worrying about gang stalking because I realized that most of it was being done through mind control, that the people around me were being remotely mind controlled without their knowledge. It's only very rarely that there's like an actual covert agent or anything. It's usually just mind control. Like you're getting ready to go outside. Your mind controllers know you're going to go to 7-Eleven because they see that's what you're thinking. You're going to go to 7-Eleven. So what they do is they are preparing other people to go to 7-Eleven at the same time. And those people do not know they're being prepared to go to 7-Eleven to harass you. So you end up there at the same time, and here you think you're getting harassed and this person's following you around. Meanwhile, that person was mind controlled out of their house to come bother you without them even knowing. And I found this out because I noticed that children were talking. Like I had heard a talk. It's like the strangest thing when you hear it, you're like, oh, not normal. And I've heard some of the worst things come out of children's mouths that you don't even like. There's no, where did you get that? You know, there's nowhere they could have gotten that except for some satanic crazy person that's in their head. So anyways, I'm not squishing my cat. So that's that. So a lot of it is just remote mind control. So I just ignore it. The actual gang stalking part, I just ignore it. But the other night I couldn't because the guy was banging on the door and wouldn't go away. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I confront him? Do I call the police? It's kind of hard to make the decision in the middle of the night. Like, what do you do? Because sometimes you tell people they're trespassing and to leave, and they do. This guy, no, he decided to try to kill somebody. So probably going to go be locked up for a long time. At least the cops caught him, which is good. It says, if you got pain, I use Blue Preskindle Muscle Rub or Radian B. I rub my head and my body. I never heard of that. You know what I really like though for my shoulders and like when I have like deep pain like in the shoulders, I like oh my gosh, now I forgot the name of it. You know the red tube? It's like minty. I can't remember now. It smells like mint and it's in a red tube. Just common stuff that you get at Walmart. Let's see. Stop filming also. It makes you look paranoid. Yeah. It makes you look paranoid, but also if you're going around filming while you're outside, there are other people who are being targeted that think you are targeting them. So I'm really careful about what I do, what I say, how I act, what I type. I try to be really careful and stay away from triggers that I know they use to target people because I know the people are being targeted. I ride the city buses. I watch just regular people talking to themselves. These are not homeless crazies. There are homeless crazies, but regular people, even the bus drivers are talking to themselves. There's no phone. There's nothing in their ears. They are literally talking to themselves. The other day I was on the bus and one lady in front of me was like going like this, like she was trying to clear away smoke or something. There was nothing there. And then when she left, the guy in front of her started doing the same thing. Like he saw something there, but there was nothing there. So I think they're projecting something in front of him. Everybody's under attack in some way. And I don't think I don't think they have the language to talk about it. You know, targets, we have our own language. Like we know targeted individual, gang stalking, perps, you know, noise campaigns. We have the language. The normal citizen, they don't even know what to say. They don't know how to even describe what's happening to them. They're probably afraid to say anything and be labeled as crazy, you know, and lose their jobs or whatever, you know, that's probably what's going on. And I mean, I should just ask them, like, are you experiencing voices in your head? Do you see visions of things that aren't there? Because those people are really trying to get something away, and I didn't see anything there, and both of them are acting the same. And people talk when I get on a bus. They start talking to me, not to me, through them to me. Like the mind controllers are talking through the people to me, and they sound demonic. Like it's hard to discern whether it's an actual like devil from Satan talking or if it's the mind controllers, because sometimes I think it's both or one or the other. And so it's kind of hard. Does anyone else have people talking to them through people? Do you ever like go somewhere and someone says something to you? Like one time I was in the Dollar Tree and I went to get some alcohol. And I'm looking at the shelves and some lady goes, Jennifer, the alcohol's down here. I didn't know her. I didn't talk to her. Never told her I was going there for alcohol. And she never said another like thing directly to me. She just said it and then just went back to her business. And she didn't have any look on her face like she was guilty whatsoever. It was just like someone talked right through her to me. It was really weird. But I have that, tech and satanic spells. Yeah, I have a lot of demonic laughter. Like before the demons are going to do something, like I go to these little like taco trucks, and I like tacos with the onion, what's it called? Asada, the onion asada, like grilled up. And I go there because of the asada. Like I can make tacos at home or something, but sometimes it just is nice just to go to a taco truck, right? Well, I go there and stand in line, and all of a sudden I'll hear people start demonic laughter around me. And if you look at them, they don't know they're doing it. They're having a normal conversation. It's really weird. And whenever I hear that, I know something about the order is going to be messed up, because the devils are not only making them laugh, the devils are having fun messing up your order inside. That's how our food gets messed up. When you order things and their food's all messed up, that's how. And that's, mind control and devils too. But if you hear demonic laughter, most likely it's probably the devils. And I didn't even do this when I first started getting targeted. I didn't even believe in the demonic stuff. I didn't want to talk about it until later, researching things, and then also catching a picture on my phone. There was a guy in our alleyway who was acting like he was perping me. And one night, he acts so weird that one night I decided I was going to get his picture in case anything weird happened. I have a picture of who, was prowling around here. Looked at the picture after, and I blew it up. There were devils there. There was a picture. Thought manipulation, yeah. Have you tried recording your surroundings using an analog recorder? Really? Analog? What is analog? I'll have to look that up. You mean like the old time tape recorders? Because I think it's really happening. It's all part of their program. But the devils that we see in a photo, is that a part of the program, or is that them working with real devils? Because it seems to be real devils. Let me tell you, the devil that I saw on the photograph looks like an Orthodox JWS. He looks like, or should you say JW? He looks Orthodox. The picture is so perfect. He's got fangs. He's got the hat, the black jacket, and the long nose. It's just like, that is an Orthodox JW. My assumption is that they're locked out of heaven because they reject Jesus Christ. That's my assumption. And I think they're trying to help the elites, because the elites are JWs. So they're trying to help them destroy us through people. And people that don't know are getting demonically influenced. That's why there's so many homeless people running around destroying things, screaming, going crazy, because they're getting harassed by the mind control and the demonic to destroy our cities. It's warfare. So, yeah, it's really bad. That's what they're trying to get us to do too. The targeted individuals are really lucky in one sense. We woke up, we went online, and we found out what was happening. There's a lot of people that don't even know what happened to them, and they're out on the street screaming, and nobody can understand them because nobody understands targeting. So targets could understand them. That's how I do. I've listened to some homeless, and I'm like, I know what's going on. They're talking about the government, and one lady saying, oh, she's just crazy. I'm like, no, she's not crazy. That's true. What you think is not true. What that person's saying is actually true. So, yeah, it's really, people need to wake up. That's why I've been trying to tell the traditional Catholics. The traditional Catholic Church, you have to remember, the Catholic Church used to run like a country. I mean, they still have a country, I believe. I mean, the Vatican or whatever. But they used to literally have a way of running things. They're not just like a church. Like we think nowadays of separation of church and state. That's not the way it's always been. In fact, that is a trick to let devils vote. So what's interesting is the Catholic Church, their way of being and everything, they have a way to actually create a whole civilization. You can create a whole civilization over with the Catholic Church. That's why I highly recommend people joining, because that's where you're going to learn everything that you need to know in order to rebuild Christian civilization. Especially since there's so many different Christian groups all over and everyone's different. It's not going to work. How are you going to build a civilization based on all these differences? You need something to unify, maybe everyone could just be united, but have the basic principles, of original Christianity. Let's see. It's a weapon system. The targeting, they have skits for atheists, skits for believers. Luciferians, and they can invoke demons and manifest. Yes, that I saw with my own eyes, and I couldn't believe it. From my experience, they all come from the government. Well, yeah, I call it the government because that's who's running the planet. We think of government as who's running the planet. So I call it the government, but it's really the communists inside the government. Our government is not supposed to be taken over by communists. This is the problem. But I mean, technically they are the government now, but they're not the good government. They're not the government we want. So let's see. I know, just people with technology and tricks. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how those devils were attached to that guy. And I have a lot of weird things I've experienced that makes me believe it's more than technology. It's technology and God's technology. So if God created angels and demons, or they're fallen angels, whatever they are, he has a better technology, of course, than these communists have. He can read your mind. He can write to your mind. He can heal you. He can do all these things, right? So he can do it better than they can. That's what's funny, is these communists think they're playing God, and they're trying to create this technology that the transhumanism. So you're half robot, half human. You already are. Hello, you already are half everything. You have electrical currents inside your body and chemical reactions. You are already a machine created. They're not going to get you any better. If you could have been better made for a better purpose, God would have done that. I'm convinced God made us perfect. Of course, we're not all perfect all the time, but that our, basic design is perfect already. They're not going to improve on it. It's just a waste of time what they're doing, and a waste of people's lives. Let's see. Kick says, I had a group of Satanists come into a church I was visiting. They were cursing in church. Yep. Almost blew my stack. I have had people come in deliberately dressed like crazy for church. And I try not to be too picky. I mean, I want you to come to church even if you can't dress nice, But they did it they wanted to just come in straight clothes off the street and look that way on purpose. They were not there to seek God. Yeah, I've seen that too. And I've had people come into the church and try to sit next to me with their children because they like to harass targets with children. And they'll come in and they'll be just sitting next to, come sit next to you with a crying kid. Or you'd be sitting away from them. And with the mind control, they will make children scream over in the corner. And the parents are like, oh, what do I do with my kid? And they're just thinking, what do I do? Get him out of here, whatever. And I heard that the demons can do that too, because I watch a lot of Catholic informational documentary things and exorcisms and stuff like that. And that was one of the things the priest was saying, is that whenever they start doing this certain thing, the babies always start crying. He says it's the devils. It's the devils irritating the babies to irritate the people. Of course, I know there's also mind control, so they could be that too. But I think it's probably both, because either one would, the devils would think it funny, but the mind control people would think it's funny too. Are you an MD medical doctor? Oh, no. And I'm really glad that I'm not. I'm really glad that I'm not educated in that field. If I want to learn something, I go learn it. I learned about this COVID illness. This is how I came to the conclusion you need to fix your blood, because you'd be on a ventilator if you stop the blood clotting and you don't have a trouble breathing. You know what I mean? They're treating it in a way, they're going backwards. It's the worst symptom when you are already really, really sick is the shortness of breath. You don't want to get to that point. You want to treat yourself when you have a little stomach ache. If you get a stomach ache and diarrhea, that's when you want to treat yourself. And I think it's being caused by mind control. I do. And so I think what they're doing is they're causing the blood clotting, or they're causing the malfunction in your body. But you have to you can counteract it by making sure your blood is flowing, really good. And then that prevents all the other illnesses, because if you don't have clots in your lungs, you can breathe. If you don't have clots, blocking your organs won't malfunction. Things like that. That's how I think about it. But anyway, so I'm glad I'm not trained in that system. In fact, I had thought about going into psychology, and I'd read the book and I would be like, that's not true. Like I knew, like reading the book a long time ago, I'd be reading, I'm like, I don't believe that, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't believe it. Now I realize I should have just done it and answered their questions the way they wanted, but then I could have been treating people the right way, but hindsight's always 20/20. So I didn't go through with all that. But their higher ups, their highest ranked leaders are Luciferians, ironically Jesuits. Yeah, but there's even something more sinister. The Christ haters infiltrated the Catholic Church. That's what all the abuse is about. They infiltrated the church and molested Christians, not just children. They didn't just go after children, you guys. They went into the seminaries, and seminaries is where young men are training to be priests. So imagine how your targeting goes, and sometimes they try to make you sick with like sexual advances. That's what they did to these priests, the same way they do with targets. Like, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but I used to have these episodes where they put someone in front of me masturbating. Like I was in a school, college class, and they had a woman walk by right up to me, masturbating right in front of me, like weird stuff like that. And so that's what they were doing in the seminaries. They were infiltrating the Catholic Church with communists. And there was a whistleblower. If you're interested in whistleblowers, her name was Bella Dodd. And she was a communist that eventually whistleblew. And she talked about how the churches were getting infiltrated. And these people went in and they attacked. It was a war effort. They attacked Christian men with sexual advances, trying to make them gay or, give them temptations and all this weird stuff, or leave. If they're really good, of course, they don't want good priests. The communists don't want good priests in the church. So, of course, they would try to probably give them so much shame that they just leave. Who's going to stay in the church if someone's making sexual advances at you all the time? It's kind of counter to why you want to be a priest. So they were doing that. And if you read the accounts of the abuse cases against children, those sound like satanic ritual abuse. It does not sound like a normal person had like some kind of desire for children. It doesn't sound like a normal thing. It sounds like something deliberately meant to insult God. Like I won't even say it because I don't want to trigger anybody, but a lot of these accounts are satanic ritual abuse. It's not like something normal, like, oh, that person made a mistake. No, these people knew exactly what they were doing, exactly that they were going to abuse that child and use it for mind control. That's what they were doing. Satanic ritual abuse. Look it up. It's real and it's really bad. And so that's what all that is about. And of course, they save those cases up. They create all of these cases, and then all of a sudden, right at the perfect moment, they throw it out in the media and be like, oh, look at the Catholic Church has got all these abusers in there. And they blame it on the Catholics. They don't tell you that it was JWs who went and did that, which they really should, because then people would probably kick all the JWs out of every city. So you wouldn't have this problem anymore. But we all know who runs the media, so we don't get that kind of truth there. Let me see. Oh, the supplements and stuff. The scientific military industrial complex. Yeah, they infiltrated there too. There was a whistleblower that came out, and she says she went to the State Department section for the Middle East, and it was full of nobody but JWs. They didn't have any Christians, no Muslims, nothing. And they had JW stuff on the walls, like pictures, and like they're all wearing little hats and everything. It's just completely not unbiased war planning or nation building. Like if you were going to go in somewhere and try to make something better for people, you probably want to have those people in the room, like the Muslims. If you want to make their area better, you probably want to have Muslims in your room so you can find out what's going to make it better for them so that the war can end, right? It's never what it's about. It's always about the JWs. And so the whole place was full of it. She whistle blew and said they didn't have anybody else there to put opinions or anything. It was just all about Israel hell. Let's see. That's what I wonder about, why these priests molest children. Yep. And there's also blackmail. They do use blackmail too. Like, if you think that you're going to get murdered, some people are not that strong. Like, I would rather kill myself than do something like that. But some people are not that strong. So if they get a threat, like, we're going to kill your whole family, or you can molest this child and we'll hold this as blackmail and you're going to do what we want. You see, that's how bad they are. And they run pedophile rings. Pedophile blackmailing rings is what they're doing. There's victims that talk about it on YouTube. I think it was Jennifer. I can't remember her last name, Jennifer or something. But she was trafficked. She was human. There's women that talk about it. They've been human trafficked to blackmail politicians. Yeah, people aren't that strong. I mean, if you're in the room, this is why I also want to advocate that everyone open carry weapons, like open carry your guns, because if you're ever in a room and someone says that to you, that'd be the perfect time. I mean, it's a war. You're gonna have to shoot sometime. You might as well just take them out right there. Maybe after 10 times of their little cronies getting shot, they won't do it anymore. It's gonna take more time, but you know what I mean, because they haven't been doing it. Let's see. The Three Heart Churches talks about TIs. Oh, really? Oh, I'm not familiar with Three Heart Church. That's nice, though. I'm trying to wake up more and more Catholics because I really want priests. I want some priests that know what's going on and on our sides, because really the Catholic Church is supposed to have the power. They're supposed to have a power structure to actually do something. They've been attacked so hard by the enemy that they're really in a bind right now, and the good Catholics are trying to get the bad ones out, but it's really difficult for them to get them out because the bad guys are pretending to be good guys. They're like, oh, not me, it wouldn't be me, I wouldn't be a communist, I'm just a nicer Catholic. Yeah, watch out for the really nice ones, because those are the fake ones. The ones that are fighting are the ones that are real. They're fighting to get the communists out. Let me see. Yes, they mind rape and body sex organs rape. Yeah, I have one friend. He was molested as a child remotely. He was molested in real life and remotely. I don't know if you guys know. I probably shouldn't mention his name. I don't want to embarrass him. But they were trying to mind control him to want to be the next president, or a next president of the United States. He was Muslim. And so you can imagine their plan was to somehow be able to get a Muslim as president to piss off everybody else. Of course, people that are already brainwashed that Islam's bad are going to be mad if that happens. And so, of course, they were trying to do that. That might be in the future, but I don't know if we're going to have that big of a future now. With what's going on right now, I'm not sure we're going to be around very long. Let's see. Against evil people generation. Yeah, I hope so. And you got to watch out, because I recommend, like, honestly, I have been like in the trenches. I mean, like, we just had a murder attempt by Mossad, I think it was. I think Mossad sent him. And I've been through hell like most targets have, and I'm telling you, after studying all this stuff, the Jew, deism thing, it's no bueno. It's no good. It's no good. They should have all followed Jesus Christ. And what's interesting is Jesus never really changed much of anything. He was trying to get them not to be racist, to be nice to their enemy, because their enemy really wasn't their enemy. Jesus Christ saw, like, my people, they're doing something wrong, and these people are doing something right. So I want you to love your enemy. It's a fancy way. Jesus shortened things. He would shorten things and say, instead of, what's easier, to tell them to get up and walk, or to tell them your sins have been forgiven, get up and walk. He would shorten things. And so I think that's what he was trying to do. He's trying to say, hey, don't be racist. you guys are being racist and you shouldn't do that. Although there's some other issues with that too. But that was like the story of the Good Samaritan. And then he was also trying to get them to love each other. That was the rule, because obviously something was going on. They were not getting along at all. So here comes this guy, this nice guy who says, I want you to love each other. I want you to love your enemy. And I want you to be, kind and take care of the poor and all this. And then they rejected him. And can you imagine what's in their minds to like reject being nice to your neighbors? It's like, I can understand, when your neighbors are gangsters, maybe you might have a little bit of a different plan. You could try being nice, but then you might have a different plan after that. But, you know, um, yeah. So it's hello. Okay, someone's still here. Thanks for waiting. Yeah, I got a phone call about the bad thing that happened the other night, so I had to answer that. So anyway, yeah, so you're on for guns for self-defense. Amen to that. You guys have to have it. You know why? I just found out the other night that when you pepper spray somebody, they can get very angry and still try to kill you repeatedly. So while I prefer non-lethal methods of stopping somebody, I realize it's not going to work for most people. If they're hardened criminals, it's not going to work. They're going to come after you anyways. And who has the strength to, not being a fighter, pepper spray somebody and then still have them attack you? You know what I'm saying? You need a gun. You need a gun, because there's a lot of people that are really, really, really dangerous, and your life is in danger. They made the mistake of attacking you. You have a right to defend yourself with deadly force if necessary. We have to stop feeling sorry for criminals. They made the mistake. They didn't, you didn't go out and try to get problems. If they come to you and they break into your house or they try to attack you on the street, it's their fault. It's never our fault. If they do that, then they get what's coming to them. And, nowadays you can't take any chances. Like, we have a lot of people over here wandering around the streets, and there's a lot of people on drugs. There's people that are crazy. There's gangsters. There's thieves. We have such a diversity of people. We can't even make heads or tails of it. Like, I don't know who's dangerous and who's not. I mean, I have to judge within a few seconds. Like, what am I going to do? And yeah, so you don't want to be trigger happy, but you want to be prepared. So if the time comes where someone really, you see the evil in their eye, and they say they're going to kill you, you got to take action. Don't wait, because it's not going to do you any good if you're just being nice. Not a good idea. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Generation says Jesus went for the suffering people to help. He had a good heart. Yeah, he was partially for that too. But a lot of his message was correcting the people of their evil ways. This is the thing. He went to correct the people. It wasn't that they were special. It was that they were especially in trouble, and it was like if you had a certain people on earth, and these people are supposed to be the ones that are supposed to be doing the good things that you want them to do, but then they decide they're not going to do that at all. They don't want to do the good things. They want to do something else, which ends up hurting a lot of people. Then that's what happened, and then he tried to correct them. As it didn't want to be corrected, just went on, and they continued with the same teaching that caused the problem. And that's the problem. Like, you can't teach someone, KKK mentality and then pretend that it's not your fault that you have KKK members. You see what I mean? So in that religion, there is the racist ideology. They teach the racist ideology, don't like the result, which is racist people, and they don't like the Judaism, So it's like, it's a self-perpetuating problem. They really need to just follow Jesus. I used to think, well, you could just reform, the religion, but there's so much darkness and dreariness in there. I just wouldn't even want to I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to go near it. I don't even want to be near it at all. Like, just follow Jesus Christ. Everything's clean, spick span, I mean, pretty much. Not every single thing, but it's pretty cleaned up, and you don't have to worry about those things. But anyway, spoiler alert, Jesus' teachings had nothing at all to do with don't be racist. If anything, Christ was a white separatist? No. Modern Christianity is nothing like the original. Modern Christianity, the Protestants, no. They're a little bit, but not all the way. The most authentic Christianity, through my research, I might be wrong, but that's my research, has been like the Catholic and the Orthodox. Now, the Orthodox are considered separated from the Catholic Church, but they're pretty similar. The Catholics claim succession, which means they claim that going all the way back the line, that Peter was like the first pope, and then that those keys have been passed on, each person, all the way down the line. Now, traditional Catholicism is more close to original Christianity. And what you get in a lot of the Catholic Church nowadays is what's called Novus Ordo, which is like it's a different way of being Catholic, pretty much. It's really different. And a lot of traditional Catholics don't agree with it. They think it's too Protestant. They think that God deserves more reverence, and that when we go to church, we should be going as if we are going in the presence of God. So I prefer the traditional Catholic the way. But no, I believe Jesus had like a little streak of racism inside a little bit based on his culture that he was in. Like when he said, we don't give don't throw your pearls to swine was one little thing, but that was like character driven. But then don't feed, I forgot what those words were, but don't feed the dogs or something. The lady says, well, even the dogs get to eat the scraps that fall from the table, and that was referring to the non-Jew-ish type people. So, so those kinds of things, like when he says that, like you realize the culture he was in was like that. But when you read the story of like the Good Samaritan, you realize what he's showing you is the Good Samaritans, A, not your race, and B, it's the person that helps you, whether they are your race or not. So basically he's saying, be good to the people who are good to you. So like, if your friend is always helping you, well, if they need help, be there for them too. That's basically what I get out of it, that we're supposed to be there for each other and not just be take. It has to be give and take, going back and forth. That's how I see it anyway. Yeah, I don't think he was a separatist. It was pretty clear. Christianity and Islam are really clear about race. There is no Jew or Gentile. We're all one in Christ. In Islam, it's there is no black and white. It doesn't exist in their theology. Everyone's one. It's based on belief and not the way you look. So let's see. And he says the Vatican rejected a lot of Christian faiths. Yeah, if you're talking about like way back, like when they reject heresy, yeah. And I'm glad, why? Because it's happening today. Every single church has heresy in it, and the people just ignore it. See, and then you have children that go home, they have no idea. They're like, oh, can I change my gender? Like, then you have people who are like, well, I'm LGBT, I'm LGBT and I'm Christian. That's a heresy. It's not labeled a heresy, but to me, that's a heresy. If God says you are male and I created you male and female, and you say, no, I'm actually a female now and I was a male, kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't fall into the Christian category. That falls into a disorder. It's like disordered. You're disordering nature. And I could go further into that. That's mind control. They're mind controlling people to be confused on their genders and creating LGBTs with mind control programming. So that is all part of the war. That is all a lie. All that stuff is a lie. It's they created a science out of it, like evolution. They created a science out of a lie. And when you make it so big, the people are afraid to confront it, Still today, people believe in evolution, and it's a really hard one to see through. Like, when there was a really good video. I think I lost it though, because it was on my other account that got terminated. But there is a lot of good talks about why evolution is a lie. You guys should look into that if you've never looked into that before, because it is all created to destroy Jesus Christ and God. They're communists. They want to get rid of God and Christianity and Islam too. But I think they're trying to use the Muslims against the Christians first. They just use people back and forth. It's terrible. But yeah, so lepers, they expel people. Yeah. Well, no, the lepers, I think it was medical reason. It's kind of like isolating people who have COVID now. Like they try to isolate them, which is totally unnecessary, guys. I don't even believe. I mean, why would you isolate someone who's getting attacked with mind control? I think it's all a lie. I just saw another video the other day. They were saying that what they're identifying as COVID in people, like when they test for the virus, what they're actually identifying is identical. And I haven't checked this to make sure it's absolutely accurate, so don't quote me on this, but that it's identical to the human chromosome 8. So what they're saying is the test is just testing if you have human chromosome 8. And if you do, at a certain expression, they say you have COVID or you have the virus. I don't know. It's too mind-boggling sometimes, and I just, I have so much going on. I haven't been like keeping up too much on it all. There's a lot of theories that go around, and it takes a lot of time to go research point by point to see what you really think. Let's see. Mela says, my daughter's on TikTok all the time, watching mainly LGBT posts. I asked her about how she feels about them and says they're cool and don't do harm to anyone. That's what they teach them in school. Yeah, they don't do harm to anybody except they change your bathroom, and now we don't have a female bathroom. We don't have a male bathroom. We have multi-gender bathrooms, which is kind of creepy and not functional. Like, I don't know, who's a girl in here, but when I'm a girl and I go into a bathroom and there's someone has missed the toilet, which doesn't happen. Women don't miss toilets because they sit down. So when someone has missed the toilet, I have to try not to stand in the missed stuff. It's really bad. Men and women need separate bathrooms, and we don't need an extra one for different genders because different genders do not exist. It's mind control. But yeah, they're trying to teach the kids that it's normal. And the thing is, Satan looks like an angel of light. So what they do is come in and say, it's nice to be nice to different people. It's nice to be nice to different people. You're just mean if you don't like them. It's like, it's not that we don't like them. I know, not everybody knows, but I know that they're mind control victims. But the other people should know there's a problem. This is a mental disorder. It's caused by mind control, but it's still a mental disorder. It's not something normal. We shouldn't be saying oh, let's just accept your cancer. I know you're going to die in 6 months, but it's okay. It's beautiful. Let's just not do anything. You know what I mean? It's like doing that. Like, they have a problem. And if they stay, let's say you're a woman and you get mind controlled to think that you're a lesbian, and you go in a lesbian relationship in your 20s and 30s and 40s, and you wake up at 45 and go, oh, I was mind controlled. I was never a lesbian. I want to have children. Guess what? You can't have children now. You're past the age to have children. Your whole life has been stolen for an agenda for war. And that's what's happening. It's sick. That's why I tell people, I go out there and sometimes I say, you're mind controlled. You need to research this. You're being mind controlled into this stuff because life goes in one direction. These people's lives are being stolen. They're being human trafficked for a war against Christianity. Because what they do is they use that to try to call Christians bigoted. They try to call Muslims and Christians backwards and bigoted and all this stuff. It's just a war on God. But they're using these created, genders and everything to try to pretend that something wrong with us. When there's nothing wrong with us, we're not the ones mind controlling people to be confused about their genders. I don't know if you guys know Stuart Swerdlow, but there's a Stuart Swerdlow on YouTube. He does videos with his wife. They know all about it. They kind of hide some stuff. I don't trust them. He's related to communists of Russia. So he knows a lot. A lot of the information he has is accurate because he's one of them. But he hides some things and he discloses some things. But you can still learn. You can still learn stuff from them because they do know a lot about what's going on. A lot of these disorders, people attracted to trees or all this weird stuff, they know it's mind control and they talk about it openly, not, they don't tell you who's doing it, of course, because he's one of them. And I don't know if he's a defector or if he's still one of them, but wants to make money off books. I don't know. Oh, if it would be possible, I will leave some tips, advices, and comment section for this video. Yeah, you can. I mean, I leave the video. I'm going to put this video up. I think it's long, but it's okay. If I can get it to stay on my channel, yeah, just put in your tips or tricks or whatever in there. I usually only delete comments if it's harmful. If they're harmful or degrading or something that I just know is just outrageously not true, then I'll delete it. But if it's just helpful, I just leave it. Let's see. Stuart is perfect. Stuart is perfect for disinfo. Oh, you know Stuart? He is, but you get good information. It's kind of like watching Alex Jones. Like, I don't trust Alex Jones, but I pick out the information that I need. Like, it gives me the ideas to go research. So at least he has the terms, and then I know what terms to go look at. Yeah, I used to be legit until he was a disinfo agent. Yeah, I know. And then I thought his wife was Christian. Like, I think she talked about being this special kind of Christian. And I was like, okay, well, maybe she's trying to change him, like the woman wants to go in and just make him a good guy. Well, guess what? Then I found later, it sounds like she is one of the enemies too. So they're just like little team, like a little duo. Oh, I know, it's just terrible. And I mean, this is what happens. That's why I told you, like, some people are really weak. So you get these people wrapped up in all this sexual perversion that they've been walked into, like targets. They send honeypots after us. Like, if you're a married target, they'll send a honeypot to try to break up your marriage. They'll make you hate your spouse, and then they'll send like some cute guy or girl after you. And you just get this idea like, oh, well, I'm just going to leave my husband because this person's so great, Meanwhile, that person has been sent to you by the mafia. So you have to be really careful. Let's see. Okay, I got some at the door. Hold on. Oops. I'm sorry, you were muted. Is anyone still here? So I don't know if that's Manila Eyes. Are you still here? Or who's here? But anyway, I was trying to say that that because we got attacked the other night, that the people brought us another taser. We got another taser in a big flashlight. But you know, I'd rather try to talk sense into these people. Like, how do you talk sense into people that are like bent on doing something bad? That sucks. Anyway. Okay, I don't see anyone answering that they're here. So if someone is here, I don't see your chat. So I think I'm going to end this because it's already going on an hour. So I want to go ahead and end it. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But thank you for everyone who did show up. And I hope there's some useful information in here for anyone who watches later. And we'll talk to you guys later then. Get safe, stay safe, get armed. Like there's a taser, you know. But I recommend for you guys, for normal people, maybe not in really this situation, but I highly recommend taking the firearm safety test and having guns. Maybe even if you don't have to use them, it's a good thing to have in case you have to. You know what I mean? And someone just showed up. Who's here? Oh, the knock sounds like the cops. No. That's the owner. Yeah. I know it's really loud, but anyway, it was nice of him to bring us elements of protection. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to say too much about that, but I think I'm going to end this here. So whoever's here, I thank you for being here, and I want to just do live stream. I wish we could do Zoom, because then we could talk back and forth instead of just me talking and reading text. I mean, it'd be kind of cool that targets do some Zoom. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to do that. I'll make a video requesting people to go on Zoom. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to end this one for now. So everybody get safe, get prepared for anything, get your food and supplies, please, 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 because the more you have, the more you can share. And also the more people you tell to get prepared, the more prepared community will be in general. And that will be good. Oh, hi, Generation. You're the one here? Yeah, I was thinking Zoom would be great. And I have a Zoom account. We can always do it when we're talking. I don't know how we would plan that. Are you on Facebook? Sometimes Facebook messages don't get through. It's so weird. Like you make a post and you want everyone to see it, and it's like 5 people see it. Let's see. Meetings. Okay. And it says send invitation. So when I hit send invitation on Zoom, I can use email, Yahoo, messaging, Messenger, Hangouts. I actually prefer connect with messaging, like so that we have each other's personal cell phone numbers, because things are so serious. I know a lot of people kind of like scared of having each other's cell phone numbers, but guys, how many hours in the day do you have? Are you really going to get crank called? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty safe to give out your number, and if someone calls you don't like, just block the number. You know, it's no big deal. You know, so I mean, if we're talking about this kind of stuff, we could always put a time together or something. I don't know if I can add people. Oh yeah, contacts, add people, invite people to Zoom. So if I say invite people to Zoom, let me see, invite people to Zoom. I want to see. Oh, it has to be in my contacts. Is there any other way? External, let's see, external contacts, nothing. Phone contacts. Okay, so I'm not sure how to add people to Zoom. But anyway, you have to download the application. So you have to have it on your phone or on your computer. So you want to go download Zoom. And then I think once you have Zoom, we can exchange numbers, I think. You have to have numbers or the link. Like if I have your number, I can send out a link to the Zoom meeting, and then we could all do it that way. just to hang out. I mean, I don't have anything, really particular I want to talk about right now because it's really, we have a lot of crime going on over here. We're fighting crime. I feel like a police officer over here. It's so bad. Like there's so much stuff going on that I'm just like constantly like figuring out how we're going to protect ourselves, because with the targeting, like they send criminals after you, right? Well, I live in a really bad neighborhood, so they can do that, but it's going to happen anyways because of the neighborhood I'm in. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's what we're dealing with here, and we're trying to just stay safe. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, I think if you guys download Zoom, and then I'll put a link. How can we do this? How can we plan to do this again with Zoom once you have it? I could just put my meeting ID, but it won't help unless you know what time to meet. So, yeah. Contacts. I think we have to exchange phone numbers, guys. We'd have to exchange like cell phone numbers, because when I hit send invitation, I can do it by email, messaging, messenger, like if you're on Facebook. Okay, so you have an email address, subgraph27. Okay, because we can probably do it that way. But then how often do you check your email? Do you get notification like the second you get an email, or does it take days? Because sometimes I don't even check my emails for days. So I know it wouldn't work for me if it was just email. But let me grab a pen. My cat stole my seat. I have to sit on this little corner here. Okay, so subgraph 27. 27 at gmail.com. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, so do we have WhatsApp? I don't think so. My phone, I try to hold on to old technology because I don't want new CIA stuff on my phone. So I try to hold on to my old technology as long as I can, which means I don't have much memory on my phone. So I don't think I have WhatsApp anymore. I use Zoom. I saw WhatsApp on my partner's phone. I don't know if I really like it or not, but I really love Zoom. We've been using Zoom for Bible study. It's so easy. It's just so easy. And I was doing live rosaries with it, and it's just like, they just need the link, and you put the link, and if you find me on Facebook, I think, I don't know if you guys have me on Facebook. I'll put my Facebook link in this video maybe so you guys can get it, because I don't know what it is right now. But I don't use WhatsApp, so it would either be Zoom. Yeah, I think Zoom is probably the most convenient for me if we want to do back and forth instead of just a live stream. Would probably be good. Okay, but I better get going because I want to get some things done before my partner comes home, hopefully, and then we're supposed to be trying to move some stuff. So anyways, well, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for your email. I got it written down. So and I'll email you, so you have my email. You can email me whenever you want, if you just want to be pen pals too. I'm good with that. So anyway, and then if you want to do Zoom, we can decide on a time or something that you want to Zoom and maybe go that route. I don't have many details as far as like targeting anymore, because I stopped researching it once I found out who was doing it, and it was a war. And so I was just like, I'm just going to fight the war. I found out what's happening. I'm just going to fight the war. So like I said, I think I was mind controlled, where I could never get shielding. I could never figure out how to actually stop it. So basically what I did, okay, I would be able to send you some links. Great. Okay, perfect. What I did was just start ignoring it. That's all. I mean, the more I ignored it, the more it kind of went away. So that was beneficial. Okay, well, Generation, I'll email you so you have my email address, and that way we can get in touch with each other. And I assume you're on my YouTube already, but I can't see my YouTube viewers. Isn't that weird? YouTube doesn't let you see like who's viewing. It's kind of weird. But anyway, I'll go ahead and email you, and that way you'll have my email address, and we'll go from there. Okay, well, I'm going to get going. So bye. But thanks for coming by. I hope everyone gets prepared, and we're just going to do the best we can, I guess. See what happens. But also that's why, I don't even know if we're going to have phones. Like, I don't even know if the mafia is going to knock the power grid down in the phones too. I don't even know. So I would highly recommend also getting in touch with people in your city. Like, know people that are close by that know what's going on too. I have a couple. I mean, I have some targets around here that I know. So you guys better do that too. Just make sure you have someone close by that kind of knows what's going on, so you're not just like out there all alone. Okay, thanks. We'll see you later. I'll talk to you there. Bye.